Hello there and welcome to Luminar NEO All Sliders Explained, the show where we describe and explain you every single slider in this powerful photo editing application. Now, if you've never been here before, my name is Jakub and I'm a creator and founder of Clever Photographer. Now, before we're going to start, I have a few things I want to cover. First of all, at the end of the video, we're going to give you our own and very popular Luminar NEO shortcut cheat sheet. So stay until the end so you can get your own copy. The second, if you want to follow us along, make sure you head into the description, follow the link there and get your sample files before we're going to start. If you don't own Luminar NEO, you can also follow the link in the description and use our own discount code Clever Photographer. That way you get additional 20% off and you can get your own copy. And finally, we want to ask you to like and comment on our videos and also follow our channel so we can keep creating content like this. In today's video tutorial, we're going to be looking at the essential catalog module here in Luminar NEO. We will start by learning how to add photos, how to add folders, and how to create and organize albums. In the second part, we're going to be looking at image details. We will also learn how we can filter and sort our images, and finally how to mark them and make them ready for editing and exporting. So once again, we are here in Luminar NEO and we will start this tutorial by focusing on the left side of our screen and more specifically at the toolbar here. So we will go through all the different folders and I will explain you what they are for. But I think first of all, we should start by looking at how to bring photos, how to import photos into Luminar NEO. So in theory, there are two ways to do this. One is to use the Add Photos option, and this is a good option for just a quick edits when you want to bring one or multiple images. You're not really worried about where they're located. You just want to do the edit, export them, and use them there. Now, when you have a larger library of images, you coming back from holidays, or you just coming back from photo shoot, or you already have established library, this is where I would suggest you to use the folders option. So I'm gonna show you both of the ways of how you can do this, and it's up to you to decide which one you prefer. So the first option is to use the Add Photos. So this is the button here, you just click on it, and it basically brings you to your Explorer or window, and all you need to do is to locate your images. So in our case, we're going to come to our test catalog. By the way, if you want to download these images and you want to follow me along, all you need to do is to jump into the description, click on the link there, and that will bring you into our Dropbox account and you can download the images from there. So once again, at this moment, we're just using the Add Photos option when you can just bring quickly one or multiple images. So in our case, we're going to just select these two images and we're going to click on Add. So by doing that, they will be imported into Luminar NEO and you will be automatically brought into the presets module. Now we don't want to use it right now, so we're going to just click on our catalog button here and that will bring us back to Luminar NEO catalog. So as you can see, the images are here and they are ready to be edited. Now, the second option of how you can bring images into Luminar NEO is to use folders. And actually, the folders are located in the middle of the toolbar here. It's very simple. If you don't see them, there is a little show button here. And when you click on it, it just opens up. Now, how do we connect our folders with Luminar NEO? Well, it's really simple. There is this plus sign here, and that will bring you again into the Explorer, and you just open a folder with your catalog. So in our case, the catalog here. And in my opinion, this is how your catalog would look, or at least something like this. So you would have, for example, this like a Easter photo shoot from 2020, and then you have a portrait photo shoot with different pictures of portrait, and then maybe you have a folder with your photos from your holidays and you just have them ready like this. So once you get to this level where you have all your different folders with the images, all you need to do is to click on Add Folder. So we do that and you can see immediately it brings the catalog into our folders. So it's right here. Now, when you click on this little arrow at the beginning of the name of the catalog, you see that it actually opens up and you can immediately see the folders inside of the catalog folder. So as I was showing you earlier, we have our Easter folder, we have our Greece folder, and we have our portrait folder. So this is the second way of how you can import your images into Luminar NEO, and using the folders is a great way to import multiple different images, and even more so if you have them in lots of different folders. So we will come back to folders in a minute, but first we're gonna come back to our folders on the top of the list. So we will close this, and let's start by looking at the folder called All Photos. So as you guessed it, the All Photos folder includes all the images you have inside Luminar NEO, and you can view them like this, all of them together, or you can use this little arrow again, and by clicking on it, you will see the photos divided between the years they were taken. And you can go even deeper. You can, for example, use this 2022 and click on the arrow again, and you can view them based on the months. And when you click on the months, you can look at them based on the dates. So you can go really deep into the library and see different images and when they were taken. So let's close this. This is our All Photos, and we can move to the next folder. The next folder is called Single Image Edits. And it's really simple. Anytime you import your images by using the Add Photos option, these images will come into this folder. So they will be in All Photos as well as in the Single Image Edits. And the reason being is that you don't have a folder for them in the folders. So they will have their own folder called Single Image Edits. The next option here is called Favorites. And when we click on it, it's again, very self-explanatory. And basically in Luminar NEO, there is a way of how you can flag or mark your images. You can set them as being your favorite, rejected, or unmarked. Now, when you mark them as your favorite, they will get this little heart in the bottom right corner, and they will also be placed into your favorites folder. So once again, they may be in All Photos, they may be in a Single Image Edits, but if they were marked as your favorite, you can also quickly find them in the favorites folder. After that, we have a recently added folder. So again, when we click on this little arrow, you can see that we have a multiple different sequences of when you imported your files, and they are sorted based on the date and time. So it usually is around 10-15 different import sequences. And if you, for example, 2 days ago imported some images and you want to just quickly access them, you can do that through here. If you want to see all the recent added images, you just click on the folder on the top. After that, we have a recently edited folder. So once again, those are the images you recently edited. Again, it can go to anything between last month or a few months. And when you click on this little arrow, it will show you the images you, for example, edited this month. Once you're going to build your library and you're going to use the application over some time, you will see that this will get a little fuller, and you will get this month, this week, this year, and so on. So we can close this. And we will move into the lost edits. Now this is the mysterious folder here, and what it really is for is specifically when you're using the Add Photos, this is when this happens. It's when you import the file in Luminar NEO create thumbnails and also a little document where it tracks all the different edits you do to the image. So it's all here, all stored to speed up the processing. And sometimes it happens that maybe Luminar NEO crashes, or sometimes it happens that you move the folder and these two things actually get disconnected. So the original image that is stored somewhere on your hard drive get disconnected with the data that are stored in Luminar NEO. And if that happens, and in most cases it's when you actually move the image somewhere else, they basically get moved here. And all these images here, you can see some of them are not even visible, but there is one here, for example. All these images were edited in Luminar NEO, but now Luminar cannot find them. They cannot find the actual physical location. So what you can do with it, there is two things you can do. If you still have the image somewhere on your hard drive, you can just click on the image and right click on it and choose Locate Image. That will open another window again. You just locate the image and you click on Choose Folder. So this way they will get brought back and they will be default again into their original folder. If you know that you will not find these images again and that you just wasting the space with these, you can just click on Delete Lost Edits and they will actually be removed from here. So sometimes it saves a little bit of space. And if you know that you're not going to use these images, the Delete Lost Edits is the way to go. The final folder in this part of our toolbar is a trash, and it works very much like the trash on your computer. Anytime you delete image from Luminar NEO, the first location it's going to be moved to is your trash, and then they're going to be removed from the trash forever. So you can either bring the image back into your previous folders, so basically remove it from the trash by right-clicking on it and clicking on Put Back, or you can delete it forever by clicking on Delete. If you want to delete all the files in trash, you can just click on Empty Trash. So this is this section, everything from all photos all the way to trash. And now it's time to move into our folders. So you already seen the introduction. We have multiple different folders here, but we're going to go back to our catalog as we already start with it. Once again, let's open it. And let's start by talking a little bit more about the folders, because there is one more benefit of using the folders when it comes to importing images to Luminar NEO. And the benefit is that anytime you make a change to the folder on your hard drive, so for example, you have few more images you want to add into your catalog. Once you add them on your hard drive, they will be also automatically imported into Luminar NEO. So that's one benefit. Another benefit is that any changes you do to these folders, they will also show here. So for example, you change the name of the folder, or you move it around. So for example, you will create another subfolder in the Easter Jennifer, and that will be also updated here. So there is lots of benefits of using the folders. And if you have a little bigger library, I would definitely suggest you to do that. So while we're here, let's also have a look at the right-click options we have here. So let's right-click on our folders. And what are the options here? Import images to this folder. So what happens from time to time is that when I move a new images into our folder, so for example, this Easter Jennifer, sometimes the images don't show here. It happens for multiple different reasons, but if that's the case, what you should do is just to right-click on the folder, click on Import Images to this folder, then just locate the folder, select all the images and click on Import to the folder. And all the images will show here. In the matter of fact, let's try it. So let's minimize Luminar NEO. Let's go back to our folder. And while we're here, we're going to copy these two images. So just Command or Control C, go to the catalog, use the Easter Jennifer, and just paste them here. Once you're done with that, we can close this and we can come back to our Luminar NEO. And as you can see, I added the images into our folder and they already here. So this is a really smart way of keeping everything up to date. So we can close this and we can go back to our right click option. So new subfolder. So let's say in our Easter Jennifer 2022, we wanna add a new subfolder. So we right click on it and we click on new subfolder. And this time we're gonna call it Square Images. So we're going to go back one level up to our main folder and we will take these two images. So you can select multiple images by holding Command or Control on your keyboard, and you can just drag and drop them into the Square Images. So that's that done. And now when we again make this a little smaller and bring back our folder, you see that inside of our Easter Jennifer folder, we have a new folder here called Square Images, and the images are inside. So as you can see, the adjustments work both ways. When I do the adjustments or changes on hard drive, it will show in Luminar NEO. And when I do any changes in Luminar NEO, it will show on my hard drive. So let's go back to Luminar NEO. Let's make it a little bigger and continue with our right-click options. So we had a new subfolder, now show in Finder. As you guessed it, when I click on it, it will show us the actual folder. And that way I can locate where the images are stored. Continuing with our right click, we have a rename, so we can rename the folder. So let's say Square Images, we're gonna call them Close Ups. And now when we go back to our folder, you can see the name has already changed. So again, making it bigger and right click, so rename, delete forever. If I click on that, it will actually delete the folder, all the images forever from your hard drive. So make sure that you think twice before you do this, because they will be deleted forever and you will not be able to recover them. So let's cancel this and let's continue. And the final option we have here is called Add to Shortcuts. And what I like to use this for is when I am working on certain photo shoot and I'm working on it a lot, instead of going back to our folders or going deep into the library, I just select my folder. So for example, let's say I just came back from Greece and I'm editing these images. I can right click on them and I can click on Add to Shortcuts. And that way, that same folder will be also placed into our main list, and I can just quickly access these images by clicking on the shortcut into that list. So they are here, as you can see on the screen. When I right click on the folder again, it says remove from the shortcuts, and by doing that they will be removed and placed back into our folders. So basically once I'm finished with these edits, I can just remove them from our shortcuts and the main folders. And now it's time to talk about albums. Now albums let you organize your images into groups without affecting their location on your hard drive. Albums are a useful way to sort your images into groups or categories such as people, places, and pets. To start with, let's talk about what is the actual difference between albums and folders. When you move an image between albums, or even move one image into multiple albums, the folder structure on your hard drive doesn't change as it does when working with folders. Also, if you delete a photo from an album, it remains in the original folder both in Luminar NEO and your hard drive. So let's have a look at it. One more time, we are in our original catalog and we're gonna create an album with the portrait images. So we have the portraits of the lady and the girl here. So we just click on one of the portrait photos and we move back to our albums. At the end of the line here, there is this little plus sign. And when we click on it, it says Add Album and it adds the album on the bottom of the list. Now we can change the name and we're gonna call it Portraits. There you have it. Now we can go back to our catalog again, and by holding a Ctrl or Command on your keyboard, you can select multiple images and then very simply drag and drop them on our new album. So now when we move into the album, you can see all the images are here. So we can create another album. Let's go back to our catalog, and this time we're gonna create an album with their portrait crop photos. So we're gonna select one of them, and then go back into the albums, plus sign again, and we're gonna call it Portrait Crop. Hit enter, and then go back to our catalog and select both of them while using the Ctrl or Command and drag and drop them on our albums. So this is the way of how you would create an albums, and it's really an easy way how you can create collections of different themes and different subjects. Now let's have a look at the options on our right click. So when I right click on the album, we have three options here: rename, delete, and add to shortcuts. So we can rename the album to whatever you want it to be. Crop images. Once you're happy, you just hit enter. The next option is to delete the album. So when I click on that, it basically just delete the album. It asks you if you want to do that. You can click delete album and it removes the album. Once again, the benefit of using the albums is that even though we deleted the album with the images from here, the images will remain in their original folders. And the third and final option with our right click is the add shortcuts. Now it works exactly the same as in folders, and you can just click on it and it adds a shortcuts to our main list. So if you have albums you're working on and you want to quickly access it, you can move the shortcut in your main list just like this, and then just access it from here. When you're ready to remove it, you right click on it and click on remove from shortcuts. Now we have one more thing we need to mention when we're looking at our main toolbar, and it's actually located at the bottom of it. As you can see right now, it says the name of the image, and when I click on another one, it changes. What's more important is the little icon at the end of it with an eye on it. So when I click on it, and when I move on another image or between the images, you can see that it changes. And it actually shows you the information of the image. It shows you the data of the photo shoot, the ISO, the lens, the f-stop, the shutter speed, and it also says when it was captured, what's the resolution and size of the image, and some additional details. So it's a little bit hidden, and I think it's important that we cover that too. If you want to hide it, you can again click on the little eye icon and it hides to its default position. Before we're going to move to the image view, we have one more thing to look at, and that's the search option in the catalog module here in Luminar NEO. You can access it by clicking on this little icon up here, and when you click on it, it opens the search bar. Inside of it, you can search for an image or folder by name, date, or extension. So for example, let's look for the Easter photo shoot. So we just write Easter, and you can see that immediately it gives us the option. So we can just click on it, and it opens the images for us. If we're looking for something else, so we can search, and let's say that we're looking for the pictures from Greece, so we'll just type Greece, and it will again show us the location of these images. So that is very handy way to search for an images, especially when your library getting bigger and bigger. So let's go back to our all photos, and from here we're gonna go back to our main folders and the catalog. Now it's time to move our attention towards the image view. So while we were working in all these different folders, obviously the images were changing here, and this is what we're gonna talk about right now. So we are looking at the image view, and right now we are looking at the image view in a library mode. But you can also look at the images one by one in the single image mode. And to change the view, you simply need to click on the image and then hit a spacebar on your keyboard. So that brings the image up, and as you can see, the rest of the thumbnails are located at the bottom of your screen, so you can just move between them. When you want to return to the library view, you just hit the spacebar again and everything returns to its default view. Now, when it comes to the library view, you can also adjust the size of the image thumbnails, and you can do it simply by clicking on this little small icon up here, and the options are small, medium, large, and largest. So let's try the medium, then we can try the large, and then we can try the largest. So it's really up to you, whatever works the best. I prefer small or medium, but let's stick to the small so everything is nice and visible. So now we know where the image view is, how you can view the images in the single image view or the library view. And now we're going to talk about how you can mark your images. When you bring your images into Luminar NEO, you have an option to mark or flag them based on what you're planning to do with them. You can mark them as your favorite, rejected, or unmarked. So let's click on our first image, and when you right click on them, there is an option to set flag. Once again, the options are favorite, rejected, and unmarked, and the shortcuts on your keyboard are P, X, and U. So you can click on favorite, and right away the image gets this little heart at the bottom right corner. So those are the one you like. When you right click on the image again, you can also set it to rejected, and you can see that it kind of fades out and it gets this little X on the bottom right corner. And to finish it off, when you right click on it in a set flag, there is an option to unmark it, and it just go back to its default setting. There is also a faster way of how you can mark your images as your favorite, and it's simple. You just click on the little heart icon on the bottom of your image. So as you can see, when I hover over the images, the icon keep moving, and you simply click on the little heart icon, and let's mark few of them as your favorite, just like this. So it's kind of faster, and you can quickly go through your catalog like this. Also remember, when we were going through our folders, when you mark your images as your favorite, they also get added to the favorites folder in your main files. So when I click on that, now it includes all the images we have marked as our favorites. So let's go back to our catalog and let's continue with the options. So this is how you can flag and mark your images. And now let's have a look at how you can filter them and sort them. So let's go up here into your screen, and there is an option called showing and also by capture time. So the first option has this little arrow, and when we click on it, you can see that you can filter your images based on if they are your favorite, rejected, unmarked, or if they've been edited. So for example, if I click on the favorites, you can see that you're only going to see the pictures you marked as your favorites. When I click on it again, I can go into the all photos, and I will see all of them. Now let's mark few images as rejected. So this one and maybe this one. And now when I go into our filter, I can click on the arrow and then click on rejected. And once again, we're only going to see the rejected images. Let's click on it again. The next option is unmarked. So it will just show the images we haven't marked yet. And then the edited will show as soon as we start to work on the images. So right now it will show nothing. But when we go into our all photos and click on the filtering and click on edited, you can see that it only brings the images they have been edited. Now, if you edit your pictures before, it will get this little icon on the top left corner. So let's go back to our catalog and let's have a look at the sorting possibilities. So you can sort your images in your library based on the capture time, edit time, peak, file name, file type, file size, and then you can adjust the sorting based on ascending and descending. So obviously you can change the edit time, but they were not edited. You can click on file name, so they will sort based on their file names. You can click on file type, but they are all JPEGs, so it doesn't really matter. Also file size is an interesting one. You can do whatever you want from here. So this is a way of how you can filter and sort your images in your library. Now, before we're going to finish, we're going to have a quick look at the right-click options here in the image view. So right-click on the image and let's have a look. We have the set flag, which we already explored. It's a way to quickly mark your images as favorite, rejected, and unmarked. Then we have the options to adjustments. We have a synchronize adjustments, copy adjustments, paste adjustments, and revert to original. So revert to original, reset all the edits, and then we can really simply synchronize, copy, or paste the adjustments between the images. So let's have a look at it. We have the image edited here. You can see it's black and white. So we can right click on it. Then we click on adjustments, copy adjustments, and then we can move to this picture, right click on it and click on adjustments and paste adjustments. So it takes a moment and it takes all the editing from the first image and paste it to the second image. Now let's reset it to the original. So we will right click on it and go into adjustments and revert to original. And this time we're gonna select the image with the edit and hold Command or Control on our keyboard and select the second image. And now we can right click on the image and click on adjustments and we can click on synchronize adjustments. So it synchronizes the adjustments between the two images. So it takes a moment. Sometimes we have to go into the edit module to actually see the edit, and then we can jump back to the catalog and see that it's been applied. So let's continue with our list. So right click again and see what we have here. We have the export option. When I click on that, we can export the image into our hard drive. Then right click again and we have an option to share the image. You can share the image via mail, messages, or Connect app. Then we have an option to open the image in Aurora HDR, Photoshop, Elements, Lightroom, and Photos. This list will depend on what applications you have on your computer. The next option we have Go To. So we can put together all the images from the same date. We can go into the folder of the image and we can go into the albums where this image is located. We can also directly create album from this image and we can move the image into Luminar Trash. And if we want to see where is this specific image located, we can click on Show in Finder. So when we click on that, it opens the window and shows us where the image is located. So there you have it. This is how you use the catalog here in Luminar NEO with your main toolbar, all the different shortcuts, folders, albums. This is how you can also see the details of the image and how you can navigate through the image view, how you can filter and sort your images, how you can work with them further and pretty much make them ready for editing and exporting. So now it's time to get your own Luminar NEO shortcut cheat sheet. All you have to do is to head to our website cleverphotographer.com/luminargift and get it right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun and I hope you learned something new. Please don't forget to follow our channel and also check out our other videos covering Luminar NEO. For today, thank you very much for watching. My name was Jakub and I can't wait to see you in the next one.